when it comes to entrepreneurship, like, that's the thing, is like, there's no like clear-cut playbook. There's like, you can learn from other people, but at the end of the day, like, you're just piecing together what you know, and you're making something greater out of it, you know? It's like an addition equation. It's like a math equation, you know, like a 1 + 1 = 3 type of thing, you know, where you're taking all the tools and experiences that you have from life, and you're doing your best to help other people, you know? And even now, even like, to be honest with you guys, like, sometimes, you know, because like, nobody's perfect, you know, and no one online is perfect, even though they try to make it seem that way. It's just not the case, you know. And you know, I've had to push through some things like in my personal life, like just lately, where it's like, this is the real shit that I always talk about, you know, where it's like, what type of mentality do you have when shit, like, you know, your life is fucking just off the rails, you know what I mean? Or whether you're making bad decisions, or, you know, you end a relationship, or you lose a job, or someone passes away. It's like, that stuff can happen to anybody at really any time, you know what I mean? And it can throw us off so bad, you know, like, just you know, it's more easier said than done too, you know. Like, a lot of times in my life, I had to fuck up really bad multiple times in a row this mic is on, right?
Yeah.
I just want to make sure. I had to fuck up really bad multiple times in a row to really know what I truly fucking wanted out of my life. And like, that's, if I could give anyone the biggest, you know, a really big, you know, piece of advice, a valuable piece of advice, it would be this. It's like, you have to find what you fucking hate first, and what you despise, and what you will not tolerate first, to really understand what you want out of life, you know? And I think a lot of people don't realize that, you know, because they want it to be so clear cut and easy, you know? But how I got to this spot in my life, and how I continually am able to advance, is because I decide, you know, whether something's for me or not, you know? Or so, you know, whether something's for me or not anymore, right? Like, it's hard to make that decision. And it's hard to, like, I think that was the biggest thing, man, is like, when I started my entrepreneurship journey, I thought it was going to be a lot more business development than it was personal development. But I'm realizing that that's just not the case, you know? I have to become the best possible version of myself, and that's when my businesses will grow. Because even, like, it's easy to say, like, it's hard to justify unproductive actions when you're making $3,000 to $5,000 a month. You know what I'm saying? When you're making like regular income. But then when you start making more money, you know, it's like, it's harder to, you know, you make more money, you know, it's harder because you're going to be exposed to more things in life, and you're going to have to practice that self-control, which is like, I had to learn the hard way, man. You know, broke my whole fucking life pretty much. And then, you know, I started making money, and I can now afford a different lifestyle, and I can afford nicer things, and, you know, I can meet like better women, you know, somewhat better women, or what I think is better women. But it's, the most important thing is always that peace of mind in yourself, you know? Like, no matter what, that's the most important thing. It's not about money, and it's not about looking good, or, you know, while those things are cool and, you know, somewhat important, right? But it's not as important as what's going on in your heart. And I realize that too, because I take everything that with a grain of salt. Like, when people would say things to me that made more money than me, I'd be like, nah, you don't understand, because I'm broke right now, you know? But it's like, they do understand, and I understand, you know? And you can still feel broke with a lot of money. It's a mindset, you know? This is why you have to be careful with your intention and actually ask yourself, what am I chasing in this world? Because if you don't know what you don't want to do or what you shouldn't be doing, you're not really going to know. So this is why I believe that the best thing you can do as a young person is just move quickly. You know, like, guys, I'm sorry to say, but like, I would not be here right now if I didn't quit all those jobs and go find a better one and level up my life in the small areas, you know? Like, even at my last job, I've talked about this before. I said, though I wanted to be an entrepreneur, I wanted to do this, that, and the other, where I was, the only thing I could do was my best every day, which was applying myself to the job that I had at that time. And I learned so much about myself. You guys have to realize that the tools and the lessons are really right in front of you. It's just that they're not packaged and presented in the way that you want them to be. You know? It's so fucking easy, like, when you let your emotions get the best of you, or like when you let an event throw you off course. It's easy to just succumb to that. It's really hard to decide to be the best version of yourself in those moments. And that's really what it is. It's a decision. You know? Yeah. And that's why I feel like I'm changing my approach a little bit, you know? Not just to business, but life in general, where it's like, I feel like I need to chase a level of deeper fulfillment versus just doing the business and, you know, spending the money. You know, coaching people is a fulfilling thing, but it's not going to give me ultimate fulfillment, you know? So, anyway,